of his whereabouts that week. But one hot night in early November, under a moonless sky and with the Santa Anas whipping through the eucalyptus trees, Dennis slipped back into the house and got into bed next to Brooke. She pretended not to notice. She'd let him have it in the morning. Brooke never had the chance. That Monday morning, November 6th, a fire reared up in a patch of resinous brush north of Mulholland Drive. Driven by 50-mile-an-hour gusts, the flames refused to be contained. Brooke was readying the boys for school when she saw a pair of fire trucks racing up Stone Canyon Road. While her husband slept, she watched the man across the street run out of his house and stand there, looking up toward Mulholland Drive through binoculars. He started loading his station wagon. Brooke shook Dennis awake. He opened his eyes to find a scene that was already tipping toward chaos. She, "I'll come back and get you." He, "We gotta save something." Brooke hurried Jeffrey and Willie into the car for their daily ride to the John Thomas Dye School on Shalon Road. They would be safer there. Dennis grabbed a Milton Avery painting, a reclining nude that had belonged to Brooke's parents, off a wall, and as Brooke was about to pull out of the drive, threw it into the car. "I thought he was nuts," Brooke remembered. There was no time to save the Chinese tapestries that Dennis's father had given them, or the books, or the photo albums, or the toys. What ensued was a day of surreal hell scenes, as the Bel Air fire came roaring down the canyon roads, Stradella, Roscommare, Stone Canyon, on its way to consuming more than 6,000 acres in the most destructive conflagration in the region's history. Burning shingles lofted through the air, picture windows crumbled, and carbonized patio furniture floated in swimming pools. Low-flying B-17s buzzed overhead in a rust-orange sky, dropping borate solution. Nearly every fire department in the city was dispatched to Bel Air as the flames climbed 50 feet and the fire jumped from house to house, from road to road, from canyon to canyon. It swept across Bel Air and Brentwood, incinerating everything in its path at a rate of 13 acres per minute, reaching as far west as Topanga Canyon. The fire department's official report described it as a hurricane of fire. The family's accounts of that traumatic morning are a Gordian knot of conflicting recollections, oft-told stories, and smeared impressions formed amid the chaos that was building on Stone Canyon Road. In the course of the day, Brooke drove through corridors of flame to retrieve the boys and return to Stone Canyon, while Dennis set out on foot, pulling obstinate neighbors out of their burning houses as he made his way down the hill toward Sunset Boulevard. When Brooke made it back to Stone Canyon, she found the scorched street closed to traffic. Her husband was nowhere in sight. In Nathaniel West's novel, The Day of the Locust, a painter toils day and night on an apocalyptic canvas called The Burning of Los Angeles. The Bel Air fire made that cataclysmic vision real. It was responsible for the most devastating property losses in California since the 1906 San Francisco earthquake. And it was responsible for the destruction of Brooke and Dennis's house at the top of Stone Canyon, among the first of nearly 500 houses to burn that day. If you were a believer in omens, it was not the most auspicious beginning for a marriage. But Brooke Hayward and Dennis Hopper, one an ingenue on the upswing and the other a self-sabotaging hard case, were soon to become, as one chronicler noted, the coolest kids in Hollywood. Theirs was destined to be the emblematic love story of 1960s Los Angeles, that golden epoch of post-war California at its sunny apex. They were the prime catalysts and connectors during a brief, kaleidoscopic cultural moment when Hollywood upstarts, art world superstars, and the emerging shaggy aristocracy of rock rubbed up against one another and threw off sparks. The concurrent revolutionary ferment in art, music, and movies made the city of Los Angeles, so often dismissed as a frontier backwater, into a cultural force. Brooke and Dennis, more than anyone else, connected those realms. "It was a great time to be in Los Angeles," Brooke said. No more transcontinental blues.